So Hare Krishna, all devotees, welcome to the Saturday evening program. This is the first program where we are having a hybrid model of those who want to connect us through the virtual, and few have come to Vrindavan to participate physically. So I hope the fear of Corona at Vrindavan will slowly fade away. Actually, spiritual topics are always it is better that we discuss together, because virtually you get only a certain degree of transformation. If transformation has to happen, there has to be a physical reunion where the discussions on the topic of Bhagavad Gita takes place. So today we are continuing our discussion where Arjuna asked Krishna. Arjuna had asked the question to Krishna whether if you are saying engaging in Buddhi Yoga, the devotional service is better, why you are asking me to fight in this ghastly warfare? He asked this question in 3rd and 4th chapter. So Krishna spoke about that, and then again in the 5th chapter, Arjuna is asking Krishna that if you recommend me to work in devotion, and also if you are highlighting that detachment is required, what is better of two? Should I detach myself or should I engage? Should I engage in the activities or should I back myself off from doing all the other engagements in this world? Which of the two is better? Because Arjuna felt these two things are disconnected, being detached and being engaged. Both are completely, opposite ends of our life. That's what Arjuna thought, and he asked Krishna, and Krishna actually elaborated it that those who look for detachment through empirical study of material world have to come to a conclusion that Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Everything has a source, because if you see the mystery of this nature, everything works in a very, very mystical way. That's why the earlier scientists, they put so much of effort. Einstein, Isaac Newton, Ramanujan, even in the Indian scientists, they put so much of effort analyzing how this material world works. Each and every acts of nature is mysterious. So when they started analyzing, they came to a conclusion that without intelligence, none of this natural transformation that is happening in this world, which provides us the end results or end commodities, nothing is happening out of chance. Mango gives us in April, the summer season. In Australia, it will be in the season of November, December, January, February, mango season. But in India, it is from March, April, May, June, July. That is the season for mangoes. You can actually artificially grow mangoes, and it can produce mango in the period of November, December also. But I don't think none of those mangoes have any flavors compared to actually the natural mangoes you get. Yeah, so each and every end product that the nature is giving us, it has a definite period, definite place, definite situation with which it produces a certain definite end product. So when the nature, even though they are mystically they are working, but one thing is sure, the probability is 100% that the mango is going to produce in April, May, June. Is there any chance that might be that mango might produce? So nature, when you analyze this, every activities of the nature is mysterious, but there is an intelligence behind. Intelligence means an intelligent person. So the creation means there is a creator. Hence, Krishna advised Arjuna that even though you might study the nature, ultimately you end up with Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So everything has, the source, which is Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma. That Krishna is the source of all mystical activities that is taking place in the nature. From Krishna, the intelligence is coming. When Krishna, as in the scripture says, because of the fear of Krishna, the sun gets up in the morning. See how punctually sun gets up. And sun, such a powerful sun, is getting up at time and rising up. And we, hopeless. Even such a powerful person like sun can get up. What is the problem we are having to listening to Krishna? We say, I have perspective in my life. My perspective is everything is Krishna. So I have been debating this with one of my relatives in the morning. So let me share that later. So it is very, very important that irrespective of whether you study nature through empirical study, analytical dissection, or you surrender and engage in the devotional service. Ultimately, both have to meet at the same endpoint. But one is the most troublesome. In the 12th chapter, Krishna says, the empirical knowledge of gaining, understanding the source of truth is always dangerous, troublesome, stressful. The easiest process is Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. How long you can fight? How long you can fight with the the Creator? We can keep on challenging him, but ultimately, unless or until you don't surrender, he's not going to help us in taking us in the right path. Yeah. So we will move on to the next verses. Kayena manasa buddhya kevalairindriyairapi yogina karma kurvanti sangam tektvatma shuddhaye. The yogis, abandoning attachment, act with body, mind, intelligence, and even with the senses, only for the purpose of purification. The yogis, abandoning attachment, act with body, mind, intelligence, and even with the senses, only for the purpose of purification. This is a very, very important verse. Lord Krishna is telling here that when you are actually acting in this world, even to attain, even to actually engage in the devotional service, none of the facilities in the nature is going to actually provide, support system. The support system will always would be against to our willpower. That's why we call willpower, right? Otherwise, why do you call the willpower? Willpower means there's an opposition. Do you get what I mean? I have a willpower. If I say, how do I test my willpower? When there's an opposition. What is that opposition coming? Opposition is given by the modes of material nature. Why does modes of material nature test us? That's what we are going to discuss from 13, 14, 15, 16th verses. Who are the doers in this world? So, I have a willpower means something is opposing my desires. Even though you want to surrender to Krishna, nature will oppose. It is not that nature in the control of Krishna will leave you. Oh, you are actually surrendering to my boss. I will give you a red carpet. You can actually walk and surrender to Krishna. No, that is not going to happen. Why the red carpet is not given by the nature? Because unless and until we are tested, there's absolutely no outcome to demonstrate yourself that how you are actually longing for Krishna. There has to be demonstration how you are longing for Krishna. That's why there are tests. Hence, for example, if you want to play, now the World Cup is starting, I just want to give you an example. I'm not recommending all of you to watch, but let me give an example so that if you want to play for a national team, will the national team just take you without putting you in the district and county club and then Ranji Trophy and then state level and then put you into the, what do you call that, zone level, east zone, west zone, right? Zone is much more higher than the state level. Then they will see that whether you are consistent. You cannot just demand, see, I hit the 6 and 4s everywhere. No, I'm scoring runs so consistently. Okay, just okay, we are going to upgrade you to the next level. Okay, play for the state, then play for the zone, then okay, play for the IPL, then okay, national team. Yeah. Similarly, no, don't think that spirituality is the cricket. So similarly, the material world also tests us. If you think I'm a great player, is there an opportunity to improve? I don't think so. And really, a hard-working player will never be satisfied hitting 6s and 4s of a Ranji spinner. He will say, get me a perfect spinner like Shane Warne. Let him come and bowl me. Let me hit 6s. Then I will be confident that I am, you get what I mean? Then I am a, matured batsman. A batsman will never be happy saying that, oh, I'm hitting. Like someone hit 6 ball 6s of a district level spinner. You cannot become so proud. So you cannot just say, I have put so much of, hard work. I'm surrendered to Krishna. So now I should be straight away, elevated to the spiritual world. No, the tests are there. Difficulties will come. Difficulties will come to each and every player of the cricket. You please go and ask. They might be showing you all kind of rosy picture in front, but it is not so easy. No one place is guaranteed. 16 players go to the tournament. 11 players only get selected. There are only another 5, 6, 7 players who will be sitting as additional. So no one is guaranteed in this world. Everyone, nahi kashchit kshanamapi jatam tishta akarmakrit karyate hi avashak karma sarvam prakriti jair gunair. Everyone will be tossed up and down. You might hit 50 in the one-day match today. Tomorrow, no guarantee. This is also today's world. That's why even in the spiritual practices, tests will be there from birth to death. Even at the moment of old age, it is not that we are super fixed, that we cannot do any mistakes. People do mistakes even in the age of 80. I saw just 5 days back, one lady at an age of 93 married a boy of an age of 24. I became so detached. What is this all about? How can a 93-year-old girl can get married to a 24-year-old boy? He's not that he's mentally retarded. He is having a presence of mind. He's doing whatever he wants to do. Still, how she could convince? So, things happen in this world, and we need to understand that there is a test at each and every level. We cannot say that I have become a perfect devotee. I have reached to a level of Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharapracha. No, from birth till death, we are student. We continue to be student till Krishna accepts us as the, as a candidate who is eligible to be in the association of him and his devotees in the spiritual world. Hence, it is very, very important to understand that I need to learn. Many people even don't think that I need to learn. Everyone thinks in this world that life is not a journey of purification. How many think that life is a journey of purification? Everyone are, in today's world busy in accumulating whatever their recognitions in terms of wealth, fame, power, beauty, prestige, and all those things. No one, purification never comes in the line of any person in today's world. How many says that, what is your objective of life? My objective of life is purification. How many says? Many people in this world thinks that they need to be purified. We get up in the morning and we straight go and start eating masala dosa, even not taking washing our teeth. Many do that. No, I'm not joking. Many do that. They start eating masala dosa and chutney, and wow, so tasty. I'm not saying I had my father's friend. I had a friend, father's friend, who used to come and, he used to get up, no taking bath. I used to force him, at least wash your face and, wash your teeth. He used to take, just get up and just go and just smoke. One sip of smoking, it's like a, what do you call it? It's sanitization. And immediately come and take, take this. Without coffee, no one lives in this world. And coffee and masala dosa, or idli, chutney, and he wanted something really kicking, spicy. Yeah. So we are in this journey. People don't think that there need to be purification in the morning. You would have done all kinds of nonsense in the night, because when once you sleep, nothing is in our control. Things will be going on and going on. You will get married to Deepika Padukone, or one will get married to Salman Khan or Shah Rukh Khan, or anyone else. All kinds of nonsense goes on. Or you go to the playfield and you'll be hitting sixes, and Virendra Sehwag is your partner. All kinds of crazy things happen. When you come out of that, you need to get purified. Before entering into the kitchen, how many take bath in the morning after getting up? In our Brahmin community, so-called kind of Smartha, Madhava, Sri Vaishnava, all is just for namesake. Everyone just get up and then take coffee. The pujaris don't do Sri Sukta, Purush Sukta before even taking coffee. They come for doing sacrifices. They say, Madam, where is the coffee? Give us a coffee. At least keep 3 sacrifices in between. I need to take a sip of coffee. Without coffee is not a Brahmanata. In today's world, coffee came due to westernization. Where was coffee? Where was coffee before? Yeah, coffee is called coffee. Where was it before? It is just an advent of Westerners. And today, it has become a purificatory act. It has become a purificatory act. Without that, nothing is going to happen. Without, if you are fasting, coffee has to be there. If you're fasting, coffee has to be there. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not telling in my own family. If you're fasting, coffee is not at all an ingredient which will break your fast. Milk will break your fast. If the milk is added to the coffee, milk gets purified. So, if you want to purify milk, the purificatory ingredient is coffee powder. That purifies the milk. That purifies water also. People don't drink water, people drink coffee. So people do not know what is purification means to today's world, because people think that purification is not at all an objective in my life. That is the tragedy, irony of today's world. Mera Bharat Mahan. Mera Bharat Mahan. That is a problem, because of which we are only seeing only few people. Why there is a crowded place in the exhibition mall, or why there is a crowded place in means Kotigoppa, there is a crowded place. But in the mall or in Vrindavan, only very few people listening to Bhagavad Gita. Why is that? Because Bhagavad Gita today is not an objective in our life. I was asking my cousin sister who is staying in Australia. She is suffering from I don't want to say mental distress because of forceful vaccination. Because of the forceful vaccination, because in Australian government is telling, if you don't get vaccinated, you cannot come to work. You cannot come to go to temple if you are not vaccinated. They have given an automated scanner to allow people in different entertainment places only if you are vaccinated in Australia. And they are saying this is all concoction. People are cheating. And she sends me Twitter of people, in Instagram, who said what is happening. It is a poison that is injected. Poison will act after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And she keeps on sending me messages. Who said to whom? And I told her one thing. Please understand, by this at least you are understanding that this is the world of cheater and getting cheated. And this is the world of Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, because Krishna says this is Dukkhalayam. Please take it as an example and understand it. Read Bhagavad Gita. And then she started saying, actually, consciousness can be, can be molded through our experiences. There is no one path. Everyone can follow any path. Then I said, then if there is everyone can follow any path, then why are you debating about whether you need to be vaccinated, whether you should not get vaccinated? Vaccination is bad. Why are you saying vaccination is bad? It is your path to say vaccination is bad. Someone is saying, his path is saying vaccination is good. So we cannot get into this, keep on debating over that consciousness is there everywhere, and you can actually, tap into the consciousness sitting at theater and watching a film. This is the state today. This is not going to happen. So hence, yogis abandoning attachment act with body, mind, intelligence, even with the senses, only for the purpose of purification. Krishna is not saying yogi for those who are getting into the forest. Yogi means people who are looking for taking up human life. Although there are, how many crores of people? 140 crore of people in India, so-called human population. It is an animal population. Actual human population is very, very less. For those who are actually animal population, Darwin theory applies to them. So Darwin theory applies that they came from monkeys. So those kind of people will stay in human body, animal instincts. For them, it is very, very difficult. So the yogis means Krishna is saying for all those who are human beings. The purpose of human life is meant to be ahara nidra bhayamaitunamscha samanya etat pashubinnarana dharmohitesham adhiko visheshu dharmasya hinaha pashubhis samanaha. Eating, mating, sleeping, defending, everyone does today. You might be holding Google, another might be holding Facebook, another might be holding, some other products in the IT industries, or someone might be holding in some whatever skills and talents and facilities with which they are working. Everyone are defending in this world. Everyone are eating. Everyone are, procreating. Everyone are sleeping. Hence, what is the distinction between human and animals? The yogi is abandoning attachment. The yogis, the human beings, start thinking about, I'm attached to deriving happiness. But why misery is coming to me? You understand? I'm attached to, in the family, this one, everything should happen because of me. That trend is there in every family. Someone or the other will be there. I don't need to. Everything should happen because of me. So if you are attached to honor, we are fearful of dishonor. We'll be suffering, and we will the attachment to the honor, we will start thinking why the dishonor is coming to me every time. Now the Koti Gopa is saying, the one who is the crores of rupees he has in his bank balance, our Akash Prabhu, the king of Chhattisgarh, he's saying, yes, that's right. So, if you are attached to pleasure, immediately you start asking, why the pain is coming to me? One who was really was attached to the concept of pleasure after marriage, he was just, he was my roommate in Sydney, not Sydney, no, Melbourne. He was my roommate. He was, his ambition in life was, I must get married to a girl who is virgin. But he had 4 or 5 girlfriends, breakup. And he was, my goodness, he was so frustrated, and he was seeking for pleasure. He thought, I had all girlfriend businesses, none of it gave me pleasure. Marriage is going to give me pleasure. And he was looking that his wife should be a virgin. He got married. Within a month time, he found out that she also had a boyfriend. Shocking for him. Please understand, he was so stressful. What did I do? So we need to understand, abandoning attachment is not so easy in this world. We are attached to certain concepts, certain desires, and we act with the body. See here, abandoning attachment, act with the body. We act with the body with attachment, not abandoning attachment. We act with our mind with attachment. We act with our intelligence with attachment. Krishna is saying abandoning attachment. I'm just giving you some certain example. Your life experiences will itself give you many examples. Then he is a yogi. When he doesn't care about dishonor, let anyone say in my family members, he is a mad person. That's why I said, Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Shri Krishna padambuja Nindante priya bandhava gurujana Grahyantu muchantuva. Kulashekara Alvar, king of South India, said doesn't matter. He was a very staunch devotee of Lord Ram. he used to get so wrapped up in attention listening to pastimes of Lord Ram. Kings, ministers used to say, my king, my dear king, this is not at all good. You need to be attentive. You are a king. Enemy can come and hit you at any time. If you're rapt in meditation on pastimes of Lord Ram, how is kingdom will be protected? Everyone used to take light of Kulashekara Alvar. Kulashekara Alvar didn't even care. Let my family, Nindante Priya Bandhava Gurujana, let my family member defame me, do all kinds of gossiping, evil gossipings. Let me not, Sri Krishna Padambuja, let me not at all deviate myself from the focus of the lotus feet of Krishna. That was Kulashekara Alvar, the king of South India. That is yogi. Abandoning attachment, act with the body. Was he not dutiful? Yes, he was dutiful. When the enemies attacked him, Lord Ram himself came to protect him. No, that was the faith he had. Ministers tried to poison him, kill him. So, yogis abandoning attachment, act with body, mind, intelligence, even with the senses, only purpose of purification. The human life means purification. So much I explained. The conclusion is human life is meant for purification. Purification has to happen from the platform of the body. Fight well. Yuktaha karma palam tektva shantim apnoti naishtikim ayukta kama karena pale sakto nibadyate. Now Krishna is telling what happens if someone is not connected to me, someone is connected to me. Yuktaha karma palam tektva. Yuktaha means one who is connected. Karma palam tektva. When we get the strength to being in the association of Krishna, we don't mind foregoing karma palam. For example, let me tell you, for Bill Gates, he's the owner of billion-dollar industries, even trillion-dollar industry. Karma palam, if karma palam of if the profit and loss statement of the of his retail industry in India is going to hurt him, he's not going to be caring. Doesn't matter, whatever you want to do it. So yuktaha, because he's connected to how much? Trillion-dollar asset. He's not worried about this crores of profit and loss coming. Now, similarly, if we are connected to Krishna, this little loss happens, whatever it's happening, we don't get dejected. Someone, gets heart attack, losing 1 lakh rupees, gone, thug. Liberation. Or someone getting $1 crore in America have got heart attack and died. When what is that called? Play that happens in Lotto. Lotto, when you win $1 million, someone has got heart attack straight away. See, the heart attack can come through this, gift also. Listening to it is gone. So, yuktaha karma palam teksva. Depending upon the attachment we have, pala we don't want to give it away. Give 1 dozen banana to Krishna. We start thinking as though the banana, Krishna will only eat it. You get what I mean? Karma palam. That 1 dozen banana, we start thinking, oh, this I have kept it for Ekadashi. You get what I mean? So Ekadashi, why do we do? For pleasing Krishna. So offering, we have a very, very fear that, what is going to happen, whether this will come back to me or not. Leaving few, giving it away for someone is a big problem for us. But yuktaha karma palam tektva, when we are connected to Krishna, We don't mind profit and loss that happens in our daily life. Every day it happens. Shanti Rapnoti Naishtikim. Because we are living in this world where the profit and loss is happening, we are no Shanti, Ashanti. Everyone are distressed. There's only one possibility. Busy in business, Krishna in way. Yeah, so busy in business, Krishna in way. Busy in Krishna, business at pay. What the business means? Business means profit and loss. What profit and loss means? Suffering and happiness. Long suffering, little happiness. Yeah. For example, you say that two are friends. What is the definition of two are friends? They are not fighting. Actually, at the momentarily, the friendship is there. Or it may be two brothers. Momentarily, no fight. Oh, we are in good relation. Good relation means what? No fight. That's all. So, devoid of absence of fight is good relation in today's world. So, Shantim apnoti naishtikim. So, if we are actually connected to Krishna, we can become peaceful. Peaceful eternally. Ayukta Kamakarena. If you are disconnected from Krishna, Kamakarena, we are just after enjoying for results of work, enjoying for the results of work. Pale sakto nibadhyate. We become nibadhyate means we become entangled. We went for making 1 crore rupees so that I can take retirement. 1 crore rupee will tell you, if you invest 1 crore in Bitcoin, day after tomorrow it will be 3 crore. Then you will invest in Bitcoin. Day after tomorrow it will be 1.2. We will be engaged for next 1 year in Bitcoin friendship. Yukta. Then that Bitcoin one day will give like this. It will just fall down to 900, 0.9 crores. Immediately, oh, what happened? I had 1.9 crore. I should have released. So again, let me just continue. I had, one person whom I used to, not counsel, a kind of person, kind of discussion I used to happen. He had $1 million. He put everything in casino in Melbourne. Everything in casino. His wife called me in distress. Prabhu, please come home. When I went home, I was shocked that this person, $1 million, he tried it all in 1 week. Tried it all. How did it all happen? He said, I don't know. I got hooked. This is how the Maya works. Ayukta kamakarena pale sakto nipadyate. You get entangled in this, enjoying the desires. What I'm giving, I'm not exaggerating anything. Real fact. I'm not telling lies here. Please understand, this is how the material world works. Sarvakarmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vashi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvan nakarayam. So here the first factor that is told, which is the doer of our activities. When the embodied living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all action, he resides happily in the city of 9 gates, neither working nor causing work to be done. When the embodied living being means what? Conditioned. One who is conditioned. Embodied means I have a material body, spiritual soul, which is embodied. The soul is living within the body of 9 gates. What are the 9 gates? I have nose, two 2 out gates through the nose and the nostrils, sorry, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. Then what it became 7 rectum and genital. This becomes 9 gates. In the body of 9 gates, soul is sitting, but if the soul is able to understand that I am only witnessing, neither working nor causing work to be done. How to understand? Neither working nor causing work to be done. For example, Virat Kohli is hitting 6s and 4s. Is Virat Kohli is hitting 6s and 4s? Huh? No. Tell me, is Virat Kohli is hitting 6s and 4s? Huh? This bowler is bowling? Yeah, let us. So Virat Kohli sees that the fast bowler is bowling, and he sees at the end moment when the ball gets released, based upon how the ball gets released, he understands whether the ball is coming fast or ball is coming slow, or ball is a reverse swing is happening or a straight ball. You get what I mean? So who is actually seeing all those? Eyes are seeing, mind is focused, intelligence says, see the releasing end. Now, presence of mind, he is holding the bat. Which is holding the bat? 2 hands, which is the senses, working senses. He is holding the bat, he uses his arm strength and hits the ball, which all cooperated in this activity. Which all? Body. Subtle body and the gross body. Strength, bodily strength is coming from the gross body, and the focus of mind, and then the intelligence to tell you that you stupid, look at the end when the bowler is bowling, nth moment when he's releasing the ball. And the ego says, remember you are Virat Kohli. Don't lose your focus. All this coming together makes him to hit 6s and 4. So Virat Kohli is just a recognition of the body. Body is hitting, body is bowling. But what is the function of the soul? Only the soul is there. I am Virat Kohli. Stupid, you look at the end of the ball, release of the ball. You get what I mean? I have a muscle strength, I can hit it. Once the soul is gone, the same body which used to hit 6s and 4s collapses on the ground. Now this is the only contribution. The soul. Soul is just sitting giving energy. That's all. Now there is another player. Who is another player? Who is judging you whether you are hitting 4 6s. For example, you are playing and the fast bowler bowls, and your intelligence says it's the outswinger. And the intelligence, crooked intelligence, believes that it is outswinger. You try to hit, covering the wicket, but it in swings and comes straight plumb in front. LBW. Who contributed to that LBW? This gross body and the subtle body. But activity who is doing? This Virat Kohli. Now, what is the duty or the influence of umpire? Umpire will only see, are you plumb in front? Yes, plumb in front, you are out, kicked out of the ground. Leave. If you play 4 6s, umpire says, judges gives decision, it is 4 and 6s. This is like our body. Body is like a playground. We are playing. Umpire is like a Paramatma. And we are the jiva sitting with this embodied body. And with our contribution of subtle and gross body, we are playing, thinking that I am great. An Australian player, bounce came, it hit on the head, he collapsed, gone. The same body is there sitting, but he cannot hit any more fours and sixes. What is gone? The soul is gone. Yeah? If the soul is gone, umpire also leaves. If the player is dead, where is the cricket match? Umpire will also say, Hari bol. Yeah. So we need to understand embodied living being controls his nature, mentally renounces all actions. He resides happily in the city of nine gates. When I understand that I'm not me who is actually playing, it is the energy which is given. It is a God's gift. When we understand, realize we are the puppet in the hands of God, He makes us to be, 1,000 people, 100,000 people clap, 100,000 people rotten tomatoes next day. It's all mercy of God. I'm just a puppet. He is the person who is mentally, he can renounce all actions. Yeah? Next verse. The embodied spirit, na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabho na karma palas samyogam swabhavastu pravartate. The embodied spirit, the master of the city of this body, does not create activity, nor does he induce people to act. Soul is just sitting, giving you the energy, that's all. Because of soul, you are hitting fours and sixes. Fours and sixes are hit by your body, mind, intelligence, false ego, and gross body, which is hovering you with senses. Yeah. Nor does it create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by modes of material nature. Nature has given this body. This body is gift of nature. Soul is only residing as a person who is sitting within the body, giving the energy. That all. It's only, his part is giving the energy. Yeah. Nadhate kasyachit papam nachaiva sukrutam vibho ajnanena avritam gnanam tena mukhyanti jantavaha. Not as the Supreme Lord assumes any more sinful or pious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge. Now, Supreme Lord is not going to, because you killed someone, that doesn't mean the Supreme Lord is going to take your anartha. He is only witnessing. For example, if you try to hit and someone is catching you at the boundary line, you cannot go to the umpire and, I will kill you. Because of you, I actually got out. What the umpire is going to do? Umpire is only witnessing your activities. That's all. Umpire is supposed to give you the result of the activities. Umpire is only going to result of that. If you hit well, it goes to boundary line out. Umpire will give you 6. If you are caught near the boundary line, you are out. What is the umpires in this one here? Why you need to everything? If you ask someone, please come to temple. Coming to temple also, you need mercy of Lord. उसको सुकृति चाहिए, my relative self, Radha, please continue doing so wonderful, noble work. For that, sukriti is needed. You know what? If one does in a family, entire family gets purification. I keep hearing this. Why just me? Everyone can do. Yeah, you get what I mean? So, it's very bewildering that we try to use Lord for our benefits. I tell them, no, actually, yes, you need to have mercy of the Lord, but at the end of the day, you also need to push yourself that I need to have the willpower. Again, I'm coming back to the same word with which I started. We need to have willpower that I need to come to temple, even if I see that film theater, I'm not going to get attracted because he is just an actor. Actor and an audience relationship. What is actor and audience relationship? You go to the film theater, you pay 250 rupees. I was in a vegetable shop just today, and someone had spent 2,650 rupees for buying film tickets for his family members. I asked him, which film you are going? I said, Koti Gobba, he said. How much money you spent? 2,650 rupees. How many people? 6 people. And he was looking really not in a state that he can afford that much. Just imagine 2,650 rupees, a grocery for the entire month. Giving it for a stupid audience and actor and actresses. The actor and the audience, they say you are God. Actor says you are God. ಪ್ರೇಕ್ಷಕರೇ ನಮಗೆ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ದೇವರು. What is ದೇವರು? For them, only ದೇವರು till they buy the ticket, come inside and they go back. That's our relationship. Actor even doesn't even care if you come next day. I saw your movie. I spent all my earning. A person works in the KEP gets around 10,000 rupees. If he goes for 2 films with the family members all gone. I had my one relative like this. He used to spend the entire earning going from one theater to another theater, morning show, matinee show, evening show. And in the matinee show, evening show, you need to have this one also. Those times there wasn't a cafe inside the theater. He used to go out and pack and he used to come back. Now everything is happening inside itself, right? You suspend everything. This is the problem. We think that for doing good things, we bring God. Tena vina naschid, Trunamapi chalati tena vina. Without him, his mercy has to be there. Radha, you are very lucky. You have got an opportunity to do. We do not have that opportunity. You are very lucky. Continue to do. Spend. Don't watch TV. Please. Leave TV to us. Don't go to hotels. Leave hotels to us. Or not going to hotels, you need his mercy. This is a mindset of a crooked Hiranyakashipu. That's all. Huh? Duryodhana also. Same. So don't find fault with God for doing good things. Yeah? So we need to understand God doesn't carry your good things and bad things. You only have to carry that. Yeah? Nanena tu tad agnanam yesham nashitam tesham aditya vajnanam prakashayati tatparam. However, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which innocence is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything as the sun lights up everything in daytime. A cat drinks closing the eyes, thinking that I'm not drinking. I'm a very, very honest, truthful sadhu. I'm not at all drinking milk. It closes its eyes. So this is the meaning of it. However, one is enlightened with the knowledge. We need to understand I'm the person who is doing it. Otherwise, it becomes like a pumpkin farmer who killed the cow and went to the Yamaraj. And Yamaraj, he told put the profile. This is my profile. I supplied all the vegetables to the entire village. No, give me the red carpet to the heaven. Yamaraj said, no, you go to the hell. Another door. Why hell? My goodness, I offered to you also pumpkin, all vegetables, fruits and everything. You have eaten because of me. I offered you. How dare you can send me to the hell? Yamaraj said, you kill the cow. Then he took up the profile, kept it, his resume. I didn't kill the cow. God killed the cow. I was just an instrument. Till that time, for going to the heaven, he was showing the profile. I did this, I did this, I did this. When Yama said, you killed the cow. No. Nothing happens with those. Yamaraj said, okay, go back, you rascal. I will come and catch you. He came as a Brahmana again. And started glorifying. Wow, beautiful pumpkin. So long bananas. My goodness. Pomegranates. So big pomegranates. Reddish. Then farmer said, I only grew. Every day I was putting manure. Every day I was putting pati. What do you call that? That making around the tree? Pit around the tree, yeah. And I was putting water. Yeah. Then the Brahmana kept on glorifying, and farmer was saying, it's me. Then the Brahmana said, who killed the cow? Then Brahmana understood. I'm the one. So that knowledge needs to come to us. One is enlightened with the knowledge by which essence is destroyed. Till I think I'm a Superman, very, very purified soul, no good things, no bad things happens from me. I'm a very saintly person. Then nothing will give us an opportunity. Please come. Nothing will give us an opportunity to think that there is an opportunity to get purified. Purification will only happen when we think we are impure. Purification means what? I'm an impure. That is the foundation. Then purification. So, by which essence is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything. As the sun lights up everything in the daytime. You might think, I'm so beautiful, gorgeous, a heavenly girl. But only when the lights are on, mirror in front of you, you see your face to yourself. You are not so beautiful. In darkness, you might think, wow, I'm so beautiful. My body is so shaped up nicely. But light is on in front of the mirror. We understand that we are like you get what I mean? So, light gives us clarity of what kind of person I am. Yeah? Tad buddhayas tad atmanas tan nishtas tad parayana gacchante apunar avritim nana nirdhuta kalmasha. When one's intelligence, mind, faith, and refugee are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. Liberation means what? I need to get liberated from impurity. Means I need to understand that I am impure. Being impure gives us an opportunity that I need to get liberated. So one's intelligence, this intelligence, minds and faith needs to be fixed in Supreme. And one becomes fully cleansed of the misgivings with the complete knowledge. He only is eligible for the path of liberation, not for those who are thinking that they are great people. Yeah. So the Bhagavad Gita is a perfect, manual for giving you litmus. Bhagavad Gita is a litmus test. If you put yourself through the Bhagavad Gita, we will understand where are we standing. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining.